Buongiorno, la conferenza stampa di Fauda. Vi presento subito gli ospiti oggi con noi, il produttore Eliad Benassouli, due interpreti, Letizia Edo e Lior Raz, che è anche il co-creatore della serie, e il regista Asaf Bernstein. Ci sono sicuramente delle domande. Io can you wear your headphones? Abbiamo letto, sappiamo tutti, abbiamo comunque visto il pilot e magari anche qualcosa in più del grande successo di questa serie televisiva, forse inaspettato, forse avevate consapevolezza di quello che stavate facendo, per il modo in cui riesce a raccontare il mondo palestinese e il mondo israeliano senza offendere nessuno, anzi voi temevate moltissimo le reazioni, soprattutto da parte israeliana, invece avete ottenuto un grandissimo entusiasmo. Ecco, se ci raccontate intanto come è nata l'idea di raccontare questa storia e come siete riusciti a trovare questo equilibrio difficilissimo.
You're right, it was really a surprise success in its scope, because the series is dealing with a subject that is very volatile and explosive. At the same time, everybody has something to say about the subject, both in the Palestinian and on the Israeli side. So we were under the perception that we'll be embraced by the middle and the left. And in fact, we were embraced, I think, as wide as settlers in the Jewish right and Hamas. It was quite an astonishing reception. In terms of how the series was initiated, I think Leo would be the best person to answer that, since he came up with the idea.
Hi, you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I used to be in the special forces in the army, and I did this kind of operations when I was young. And I think I had this dream all my life to talk about it and to show both sides, the Palestinians and the Israelis, and the price that the families and the friends are paying for their actions. And I met my co-creator Avi in Ramallah. It's an Arab village, not village, city. And while we were, I think 5 years ago, and I asked him if he have a dream, and he told me that yes, he wants to write something about what we did in the army. And I said that we share the same dream, and actually we started to write about it, and it was for us kind of a healing process to work and talk about subjects that we didn't talk about for 20 years. And we didn't know that it would be such an amazing success, and we thought, all the time I told to Asaf in the screening room, that editing room, he told me, wow, look at this, it's a beautiful scene, and I told him all the time, yeah, but it's just me and my mom will see this series. But it was really a huge success, and for us it's amazing.
Ma quando vi siete accorti che questa serie stava avendo così tanto successo, erano solo i numeri, lo share televisivo, il numero degli spettatori, o avete avuto anche altro tipo di riscontro? Perché so per esempio che voi attori, anche Letizia, ormai la vostra vita è cambiata, vi riconoscono per strada, siete delle star.
Yes, it's true, and also I know that people are amazed by the fact I am half Lebanese. I'm half French, half Lebanese, because for them it's, of course, Lebanese people can't come to Israel and the contrary, so for me it's luck. And I think it's also a good symbol that they chose me to be in that series, because it's one more people that we could be in peace and despite all that we know. So I think it's important that people recognize me and know that I'm half Lebanese.
For me, it's quite a life-changing event because I'm an actor and people know me, but not like that. So I realized we all realized that it's a big success because we got a huge hug from everyone, from the journalists, from the right wings, from the left wings. We can't walk on the streets with no people hug us and kiss us and take a picture with us. It's fun, and it's on the other side it's quite difficult, but we realized that we impact people. We got through their heart, to their heart, because everyone from all sides choose their side and choose their way of looking of this series. And you know, I've got emails from all over the world, from Kuwait, from Arab Saudi, and Israelis, and everyone's saying that they have now compassion for the other side. And this is very important for us. This is huge. This is the success, actually, that people can understand now the other side.
I think that it's quite astonishing that by actually trying to tell a story that really is centering on the violent conflict and the price that people pay, people have gotten some hope for peace out of it. I think for me as a director, the main thing was to embed affection and love to all the characters. No matter where they are in the political range, they are all human beings and all the complexity of that, of being human beings. And I think people perceive this honesty and embraced us for that, because it didn't come off as a political piece, although it, of course, touches on the core of the political situation between Israel and Palestine. But I think the honesty and the love that the characters, that we love the characters and then the audience loves them back, has really made a change, has really made an impact. I mean, I've been working with some of the actors who play Hamas activists. Most of the Israelis, they're playing terrorists, and yet they are, you know, hugged, as Lior says, in the street by the Israeli crowd. So it's quite amazing.
Sì, le do subito la parola perché, collegandomi a quello che appunto diceva, una delle cose più innovative, credo, di questa serie sia il fatto che i terroristi, chiamiamoli appunto, hanno una famiglia, hanno un volto, hanno un'anima, hanno delle emozioni, hanno delle ragioni, e questa forse è la cosa più...
Yes, sorry, I got it.
E questa è forse la cosa più sconvolgente, più nuova, che davvero potrebbe cambiare lo sguardo di tante persone, no? Anche su questo conflitto. E quindi volevo chiedere anche alla produttrice che cosa significa realizzare una serie così in questo preciso momento storico.
So, actually we shot the series, and last year there was the operation that, well, let's face it, that was the war, Tzuk-Eitan, and we shot it in an Arab village. It was quite difficult and complicated on the other hand, but on the other side you saw that we shooting Arabs and Jews in an Arab village, and yet everybody is very committed to this, and we got, you know, we went to the shelter together when was you know, the bombing, and it was so surrealist because we were shooting about this, something like that, the conflict, and well, I could say at the beginning, before the shooting began, we had a lot of You know, Leticia, she's Lebanese, but she lives in French. A lot of the actors in Israel, the Arab actors, they were scared to perform in this kind of series because they were afraid that maybe they'll be considered as playing along with the Israeli government and so on. And we had a lot of during the pre-production, a lot of actors that weren't willing to participate, and the ones that did have the courage, well, they are very happy actually, and they understood that it's kind of a series, like you said, that shows the both sides and both sides. I want to add to that, we have two actors that play the Hamas terrorists. That now they're walking in Tel Aviv in a very specific right wing. They are getting so much love from the people that they can't imagine. They say, you're a tourist, but you have a wife, so it's kind of crazy for us. But it was a complicated from that side, but I think we managed it.
I think it's very important to say that the narrative of the story is in Israeli. It's not Palestinian, and the story is about terrorists that want to kill and to harm the Israelis, and this is the main story. But the actions that they do, it's just like the same actions. The hero, the Israeli hero, and the Arab hero, they doing the same actions, and they ruin their own life together in the same way. But it's very important that you will know that it's an Israeli series, and even though that Arab Israelis love it, but that's it.
C'è una domanda qui davanti?
Sì, buongiorno, Catero Masullo, il parere dell'ingegnere, una domanda per il regista, ma per tutti essenzialmente. È verissimo che quando si conosce il diverso non ti fa più paura, e quindi se lo conosci ne apprezzi le stesse doti di umanità, cioè le cose che ci sono in comune sono sempre più grandi di quelle che ci si dividono. Però il cinema non ha mai cambiato il mondo. Allora, volevo dire, sicuramente è molto interessante questo esperimento che state facendo e anche questi risultati che state avendo, però in questo momento si combatte, forse si combatterà ancora per tanto tempo, eccetera. Ma perché si fa così fatica a riconoscere quello che è simile nei nostri simili? Perché probabilmente ci sono forti interessi che non vogliono che questo accada. C'est l'argent qui fait la guerre, si dice in genere, cioè ci sono degli interessi che spingono a buttare sempre benzina sul fuoco. Quindi avete analizzato queste cause che in genere sono di tipo economico, non so quanti soldi si hanno per ogni rifugiato all'anno, eccetera. Togliere i rifugiati potrebbe significare togliere motore, il benzina a questo motore, quindi fino a che non si toglie la benzina a questo motore non credo che ne usciamo, non credo che basterà una fiction. Grazie.
Let me relate to the first part of the question. I think that you're right that movies cannot entirely change the political situation. At the same time, we do have an effect. I'll give you a small example. This series is mostly in Arabic, and Arabic for the Israeli audience is a language that usually was eyed with either a humoristic sense or as an intimidating sense. And here there are scenes in Arabic that are love scenes, that are drama, and this has made an incredible change on the perception of the language. People have started to study the language with passion. A lot of children now study Arabic because of this series. We just talked about it, Leticia and I, outside. She knows this as well. So it may not be a direct impact on the political situation, but once you speak the other's language or want to understand it, you begin to identify, and there are many facets to this identification. So, at any rate, it is better to shoot scenes and not shoot people. And in terms of the economical situation, I'm probably not well equipped enough to give you a thorough answer. Perhaps one of my colleagues would like to try that.
I have just one sentence to add to the Arabic things. It's some Israelis told me suddenly, I want to learn my neighbor's language. And when I heard neighbors, I was like, yes, indeed. So I love this sentence, and this sentence came after the series from people that opened their mind to suddenly, whoa, we have neighbors, they are so close because they don't see each other. I mean, behind the wall, for sure they don't meet, but also in the city, even in Tel Aviv, which is more free, people don't really mix. You have the Arabic areas and you have the Jewish areas. So suddenly, the other became the neighbor, which is the first step, which is good, I think.
Ci sono domande? Sì, scusa, non l'avevo visto.
Buongiorno, Francesca Pierleoni dell'Ansa. Volevo chiedere al protagonista, che è anche co-creatore della serie, se immagino ci sarà una seconda stagione, visto il grande successo, e se ora sentite di più la responsabilità, anche il peso degli argomenti nelle puntate, considerando che si sta vivendo un periodo in cui il conflitto si è riacceso in modo forte. E volevo chiedere sempre al protagonista, per lui com'è stato rivivere certe situazioni che ha vissuto nella vita. Ecco, grazie.
Okay, I'll start with the second question. I just said it's very hard to be a creator and an actor, but I had Asaf, and Asaf was my director, and he told me, asked me to forget everything when I'm starting to shoot and I'm starting to act, and it was amazing. But as I said, it was kind of a healing process, because I'm a post-traumatic PTSD, if you say, and it was kind of the first time that you talk about something that you are. It's very hard for you and your family and your friends and what happened. I for 20 years I forgot stuff that I did. I didn't forget it, but I put it down in my, I don't know where. But and I didn't talk about it, and it was very hard. You know, there is a story about a girl that dying in an explosion in our series, and I had a girlfriend when I was 20 years old, when I was in the army, that she went out from her home in Jerusalem, and an Arab terrorist came and just stabbed her to death. And I didn't talk about her for a long time. And when we started to write, everything was coming to life. And when I saw the girls playing in our series, I remember that I was sitting in the monitor and I'm starting to cry, first time of my life, for the last 20 years, because I saw her living again in front of my eyes. So it was very hard, but it was very good, and for me it was kind of a healing process, as I said. For the second season, I think that we have so many stories right now that we can just pick them from the newspapers, and I think the complexity of what happened now in the Middle East, and not just in the Middle East, in Europe and all over. When we're writing now the second season, we talk about ISIS and what's going on with ISIS, and we're talking about stuff that we didn't talk, and I think it's very important that people would understand what's going on in the Middle East and all over the world actually now.
Credo che però non abbiamo, se è veramente velocissima, sì, l'ultimissima è veramente velocissima.
I remember I saw a very nice Israeli movie called Bethlehem. In that movie, I don't know if you saw it, that was my first question. And the second question is, in the movie, at the beginning, they say, do you know why they invented the language? And the answer is to say lies. So I just want to know if you face this reality between, this discourse between reality and fakeness, and if you saw the movie. Thank you.
Of course, we all saw the movie. Actually, the two lead actors from that film are also in our series. Walid, the guy, Shadi Mari is a phenomenal young actor. He plays the kid in Bethlehem. He's one of our co-leads. He's, as you've seen him in the first episodes, he grows in his size as a character in the rest of the series. The second one is Tzachia Levi, who was the lead in Bethlehem, and he's also part of the crew in Fauda. About language being the tool for telling lies, well, you know, it's a tool for telling the truth as well. So maybe with images, we can help absolve the lies that are told by the language of politicians and people with interests that are sometimes not parallel with the truth. It is, I think, and was our ambition in this project, and I do speak for all of us, to be as truthful to the humanity of both Palestinians and Israelis in this series.